Creating a JSP page. So far we have discussed the benefits and lifecycle of JSP. Here we will discuss about developing a JSP page. For your better understanding, we will discuss with a sample program for JSP page that displays the message Hello World. Here is the code for JSP page. This program is the normal HTML file, but we can store this file with the extension of .jsp. As we discussed earlier, JSP contains HTML codes, Java codes, and JSP scripting elements. Here we will discuss with a simple program. Later on, while discussing the corresponding concepts, we will discuss the JSP page that uses all the concepts. Let us analyze the codes. There should be no need to explain the codes, I hope, because all of you have an idea about the basic HTML tags. Just recall. These two tags indicate the starting and ending of the HTML file. Like this, all HTML tags have a start tag and end tag. We have assigned the title for the page as Sample JSP Page, using the title tag within the head tag. Afterwards, we need to print the message Hello World, so we must write inside the body tag. Finally, we close the body and HTML tags. Once we write the codes, then we have to save this file. Where can we save this? We will save it in our web application in Tomcat, parallel to the webinf folder, i.e., we have to save in the folder which contains the webinf folder. Here, we gave the file name as hello, for example, and our web application name is wings. Recall the directory structure of the web application that we discussed in Servlets. Let's get into the folder where we saved our JSP page. Thus, here we are looking now at the webinf folder and our JSP page. There is no need to define the file in the web.xml, i.e. the deployment descriptor. We can directly deploy the JSP page using the name in the URL with the corresponding application path. To deploy the JSP, first we have to start the Apache's Tomcat server and the URL for deploying the JSP page, and it will look like this. Type this URL in your browser and press Enter. Here we look at the message that shows Hello World. Note that saving directly file parallel to the webinf folder is not a good programming practice when we are developing large web applications, and it also leads to name conflicts. So just create a package, i.e. a folder parallel to the webinf folder, and store the file in that package. Now we create a package named JSP and save our file in this package. Now the new URL to deploy the JSP page will be like this. In this path, we include the folder in the path. Type this new URL to deploy the JSP page in your browser and press Enter. Here we look at the message that shows Hello World. I'm sure now that you have got a basic idea about the JSP page. We will discuss about the directives, actions, and custom tags in JSP in the upcoming chapters. JSP APIs. In this lesson, we will discuss about the APIs present in Java server pages. The JSP technology is based on the JSP API that consists of three packages, i.e. javax.servlet.jsp, javax.servlet.jsp.tagxt, and javax.servlet.jsp.el. Here we will discuss about the basic interfaces and classes which are present in the first package. The second package is related to custom tags, and the third package is related to the expression language. We will discuss about these packages later. The javax.servlet.jsp package has many interfaces and classes. The interfaces available in this package are JSP Page, HTTP JSP Page, and the JSP Application Context. The classes in this package are JSP Engine Info, JSP Factory, JSP Writer, Page Context, Error Data, and JSP Context. In addition to this, we have some exception classes, i.e. JSP Exception, JSP Tag Exception, and Skip Page Exception. Let's discuss in detail about the methods and classes in the interface. The JSP Page Interface. The JSP page is the interface that must be implemented by all JSP servlet classes, and this JSP page interface extends the javax.servlet.servlet interface. The JSP page interface has two methods, JSP init and JSP destroy. Here is the signature of the interface and methods in interface. We have already discussed about JSP init and JSP destroy methods in the previous lesson, so let's discuss the third, _JSP service method, which is automatically defined by the JSP container. The next interface is the HTTP JSP Page Interface. This interface directly extends the JSP Page Interface. There is a single method in this interface, _JSP service. This method is called by the JSP container to generate the content of the JSP page. The structure of the _JSP service method will be like this. Since this is the container-generated method, we can't include this method in a JSP page. Till now, we have seen the interfaces. Now we will discuss about the classes. The first one is the Jsp Factory Class. The Jsp Factory Class is an abstract class that provides methods for obtaining other objects needed for the processing of JSP pages. We can obtain the JSP Factory object using the static getDefaultFactory method. By using this object, we can obtain the objects of Page Context and JSP Engine Info, which is useful for page processing. Using the getEngineInfo and the getPageContext methods makes it better. The structure of the methods will be like this. Here, the getPageContext method requires various parameters. Here is the sample code, which is part of the _JSP service method that is generated by the JSP container. Here we can see the values for all parameters in the getPageContext method. The servlet is the present one. Request and response are the objects of servlet request and servlet response. There is no error page. It will be in session. The buffer size is 8 kilobytes and the autoflash attribute is true. We will discuss all these attributes in detail in upcoming chapters. JSP Engine Info class. This is also an abstract class which provides information about the JSP container. There is only one method in this class. It is getSpecificationVersion. This method will return the JSP container's version number. We can obtain a JSP Engine Info object using the getEngineInfo method of the JSP Factory Class. The Page Context class. The Page Context class is also an abstract class, which provides the methods that are implementation dependent. We can get this object inside the _JSP service method by calling the getPageContext method of the JSP Factory class. The Page Context class provides the methods that are used to create the other objects. For example, the getOut method returns a JSP writer object that is used to send the output strings to the web browser. Likewise, there are a few other methods that return the servlet-related objects. They are getRequest, that returns a servlet request object, getResponse returns a servlet response object, getServletConfig returns a servlet config object, getServletContext returns a servlet context object, session returns an HTTP session object. The JSP Writer class. The JSP Writer class is derived from the java.io.writer. This class represents a writer that we can use to write the response to the client browser. The most important methods in this class are the print and printin methods. Both provide enough overloads that ensure we can write any type of data. The difference between print and printin is that printin always adds the new line character to the printed data. A few more methods in this class allow us to manipulate the buffer. For example, the clear method clears the buffer. It throws an exception if some of the buffer's content has already been flushed. Well, here now we have discussed the various application programming interfaces related to Java server pages.